Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of Touchdown Talk. I'm Nate Sanders.
I'm Mason Myers.
And I'm Lane Markham.
And here we'll be talking about the NFL and what's going on in it. So, who wants to start us off the first story?
I can start us off. I think that Anthony Richardson is a lot more comfortable with his team overall this year.
Were they seeing it in like training camp or stuff like that? Like he's
Yeah.
feeling more comfortable in the pocket?
Yeah.
Okay, because he was injury prone last year. We have to make sure that doesn't happen.
And he didn't get much playing time after he got hurt. I mean, he had like one or two good plays after that, but after that he went downhill. But I'm sure he'll definitely pick it up this year.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be like a C.J. Stroud, but
Definitely not.
maybe he can bring some competitiveness in the division.
He will still help out the Colts.
The Colts almost made it to the playoffs with a backup quarterback, aka Gardner Minshew. So if they can almost make it with him, I think Richardson's the key that they need because they've just been chasing for a quarterback ever since Luck left.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that the Colts will make it to the playoffs this year.
I think we'll have a decent chance. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So another topic I want to talk about is that the 49ers QB Brock Purdy said that he's focusing on his winning games this year and not his contract. And this is exact quote unquote. I'd be wrong if that's where my mindset was at. So saying like he cares more about his team than he does his own money. What are your guys' opinions on that?
I'm just happy he's not being biased. He's not being selfish is the word I was looking for there. He's not being selfish. He's taking what 49ers give him, and he's not going to throw a fit about it.
Yeah.
He's still going to want to be paid, but he's not going to be like...
He's not going to be like...
He's not going to have like a Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson contract.
Yeah, so
I think that he's there for the team less than he's there for the money.
Yeah, which is the good thing.
He could go to a better team if he wanted to.
Yeah, honestly.
And get paid more.
But he still said that he cares more about his team than he does the money.
He likes his team more than the money.
Well, and that really matters because so many quarterbacks are focused on getting their own money and not really worried about the team.
Yeah.
Like Joe Burrow, has one of the highest paid contracts right now in the NFL, and he doesn't really have much around him. That's because he's taking up most of the cap hold.
Exactly.
We can't just step aside from that.
So my understanding of this is that he
What are you trying to say?
So who'd you say the
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, I doubt he's ever said anything across the lines that Brock Purdy said. Like, he probably cares more about the money than he does about his team. He's probably just there to gain.
Well, he might be there a little bit for his team. Like, he has to be cool with all of them.
Yeah, he has to, or he's just gonna let the defense right through.
Yeah, on our team when we're playing football, if we don't like the quarterback, we can just let them all through. The quarterbacks have to be cool with us. That's too, for everybody.
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of it is that the quarterback should have respect for everybody on the team.
Yeah.
Even the linemen. If you didn't have linemen, you would be nothing.
Linemen win games.
Yeah. But one more thing I want to talk about to you guys is that there's a quarterback rivalry going on right now. Well, not really a rivalry, but they're on the same team. They're competing for the starting role right now between Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. Okay, so first off, let's just get your opinions. Who do you guys think is going to get the starting role?
Minshew.
I think Minshew too.
I think I'm going to go with Minshew there as well. He had a phenomenal year with the Colts last year.
It was really good last year.
It might have been, the Colts do have some stars on their team, like Michael Pittman and JT.
Just because they don't make the playoffs every year doesn't mean they're a bad team.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing what the Cowboys are kind of doing, except for maybe not making the playoffs. But still. Yeah, you guys know what I'm trying to say. But I feel like Minshew, he's just proven himself more than Aiden O'Connell has. So.
And training camp and stuff like that, it was a real experience. Because them going back and forth, it was crazy.
Yeah, we'll just have to see who their coach likes more, and not who likes more, but who plays better.
Yeah.
That really causes it to go down. So.
Yeah. I think it's crazy how the NFL in general is just mostly all about money.
that's fair.
That's fair.
It's like we're forgetting about football for like half a minute and
Yeah,
worry
well,
about how much
like-
money we're getting.
But like that's like when they're not playing football though, because when they're playing football, they have to think football to be able to play football. Because if they don't think that, then they're gonna actually suck it up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're not gonna get paid.
Yeah, I mean one of the best examples of that I can think of, Russell Wilson. Listen, if you guys know, I'm a little bit of a Denver Broncos fan.
Yeah.
And when I heard that we traded for Russell, I was so happy because I thought that maybe he's the quarterback of the future for us. And then everything's been happening.
Well,
We traded him. He's still on the Steelers now.
and not even
So-
how much the players get paid, but how much money goes into
Like every
these
season.
events. Like
Yeah.
a 30-second Super Bowl commercial's like $7 million.
Like
Yeah.
that's also a fun fact that I was gonna bring up later, but might as well bring it up now. But a literal 30-second Super Bowl advertisement costs $7 million. Imagine that coming out of your big. But they make it all back from the tickets for the Super Bowl game.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like Super Bowl tickets are pretty expensive.
And
Yeah,
I-
but they're not making it back.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The NFL,
The NFL is getting more money from
Well,
ads.
the NFL,
That too.
Yeah.
the NFL having ads, they're getting money, like they're getting paid to put those ads on.
Well, yeah. They're getting paid for that too, and they're getting the Super Bowl tickets. So they're getting a lot of things happening at this one big event.
Yeah,
And-
so that's why it costs so much, because a ton of people are watching the Super Bowl every year, and if they put out advertisements for $7 million, let's say, people will buy it, and it just makes them money still.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and for the brands though, that's like the biggest stage
Yeah.
that you could be on is the Super Bowl. Like being on a Super Bowl commercial, because so many people watch Super Bowl commercials because they're really funny. They have like good taglines, stuff like that in them. And it's a once a year thing that you could do, and for a business that could be really big for them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
brandly.
So one more thing that I'm going to bring up. Lane, don't be afraid to bring up anything else in the future.
Yes.
But also, I just learned this not too long ago. Joe Burrow is actually the #1 offensive player.
Yeah, bring it back to the
Yeah.
Brock Purdy thing. Yeah.
And then Nick Bosa is the #1 defensive player.
Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Nick is, because
Yeah.
Nick has been in this industry for a while now, playing football. And it used to be Aaron Donald, but he retired.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald was the highest paid player.
He's a pretty good player.
But he was one of the best players in the league. I mean, you have to take that into account. Burrow surprises me a little bit, but I'm not too surprised. He was injured, but he did make his team go to a Super Bowl, though. We can't forget about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
We can't forget about how McCaffrey, the 49ers running back, had a phenomenal season last season.
yeah, he was actually, I read this online, he was actually ranked as the #1 running back going into this year, which can either be a good or a bad thing, so.
Well, if he keeps running like he was last year, he definitely will stay the #1.
Yeah, I think he will, because like he's one of those rare running backs that you get that can run and catch.
Yeah.
He's a run catch guy. You could throw it to him, it could be a deep threat, or just a little check down run and you're good.
Yeah.
Like he brings what
Yeah.
you need to the team.
Yeah.
He's a big asset for them.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think that he's better than Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah. Derrick
Derrick Henry, he used to be good, but he's just getting older and
Yeah,
he's
going
slowing
down.
down.
He's
Yeah.
slowing down a little bit.
I mean, but speaking of running backs, we have to talk about. Well, and this will be the last thing I bring up, but we got to talk about the Panthers starting running back Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
He apparently is starting this
Yeah.
new tradition in Carolina
Oh,
called
yeah.
night and day.
Yeah, night and day.
And
It's bringing a whole entire new commotion to it too. Like it's like actually like a big thing.
yeah, for the people who are watching this, Panthers. Well, unless you've been living on a rock, Panthers haven't really been that good this year. Ever since
Yeah.
2015 when they had Cam Newton and made it to a Super Bowl and then lost to my Broncos. But still, maybe this is what they need. They still got Bryce Young on that rookie deal, and he hasn't really proven himself yet.
Yeah.
But if he does, he could be a very valuable asset for them.
Yeah.
And because I mean, well, he's the #1 pick. I mean,
I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, like we'll just have to see what goes down for them, and hopefully that new culture for them really does work because they seem to me like they lost their star in Christian McCaffrey, because he got traded to the 49ers.
Yeah.
So they lost their star, and maybe he could be the next guy who pops out. Maybe they get some more wide receivers or defense or something that just brings their whole team together.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Well, I think that's all we have for you guys
And-
this week, unless you have something else, guys.
I was just gonna say, like, small teams like that don't have enough money to keep all those star players. Like, they have to let them go after having them for a year.
Yeah.
If they could get a bunch of them, like that, like if they've saved the people they've had over the years, they'd be good.
Yeah.
It's just like the Colts.
But I don't think they want to do it with like kind of like the Cowboys and the Colts did this too. But like get so many star players to where like
People actually want to come to see it.
well like you have so many star players, but you guys end up being a letdown to the
Well,
NFL though
well-
and their fans. You don't
And-
like that. That's what the Cowboys do. That's the Colts have done that. We had 2020. If you guys watched the Hard Knocks thing, we had the most Pro Bowlers in the entire NFL. Our team did, and we barely made it past the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So actually, no, we got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs
Oh yeah.
with Carson Wentz. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that overall the coach has a lot to do with.
Sports.
all that, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Because they have to know the positions and.
Well, and on the topic of teams getting star players, like if you get a bunch of good players
Yeah.
and you can hold them and make it work, like the Chiefs, for instance,
Yeah.
with Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce.
I said, well, I mean, didn't they just trade Hill?
Yeah, they traded.
Yeah. But they're still good. They still won
They
a Super Bowl
traded
without him.
Tyreek last year, and they still did good, but they weren't like great.
Yeah, but they still won the Super Bowl, though. You can't take
Yeah.
that away from them.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I know they still won the Super Bowl, but like even though they won the Super Bowl, you could tell that they were playing worse than they were last year. With
Yes,
Tyreek.
that is 100% true. Well, it's probably because, like, Travis Kelce, like, he didn't really have someone to drive the guys downfield so then they would not guard him, or have Travis Kelce be blocked and have Tyreek go over the top.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think that it is, like, a coaching standpoint, though, there, that you have to have a good coach to make all this work.
Yeah.
I want to mention something that actually Travis actually said it himself, but his name isn't Kelsey. It's Travis Kels. Like the E is silent, like completely silent. I just learned this like last year when he was making a stand against Taylor Swift, like with Taylor Swift actually, not against, because people were like being mean to her and everything. And he said that his like after like an interview, he said the interviewer said Travis Kelsey is like again with the name. It's not Travis Kelsey, it's Travis Kels. And I was like, what? What? Like Kelsey became Kels.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that.
Well, everybody, welcome to Touchdown Talk, where
Yeah.
we turn football conversations into ELA assignments. But without further ado, I think unless you guys have anything else you guys want to expand on,
No.
well, I mean, I think that'll do it for this week. See you guys next time on Touchdown Talk.